Forgive me if I seem quite emotional. It's because I am. I just finished watching The Grand Tour, which is basically what Amazon acquired with the stuff that Jeremy Clarkson went through with the BBC. And I know that it's some of his fault also. I'm not picking sides. I'm just trying to elaborate on what had happened. That's sort of just preface to that. Because, normally anybody would have kind of been done after that point, but then they resurrected their legacy so elegantly, and the last send off was just phenomenal. I mean, there were crocodiles, there was cars on railway lines, there was flashbacks to things that they've already done, there was their cars that existed from when they had first began with their specials still intact when they were the one that dissembled in them in the first place. And it's just a lot. And at the very end, all James had to say was that I hope, or he hopes, that he brought us a little bit of happiness. And I think it's more than that. What the trio has done for me is show me what greatness is possible of. A reminder to keep making something, hoping that it will eventually work out. Because you want to create a lasting fucking legacy, man. Something that you can solidly base your foundations on. I just wanted to get this out there, to just pour my feelings out there, because what's the use of this type of content if I can't be my authentic self? And I'm not gonna lie, my authentic self is just a sucker for stuff like this. A sucker for recognizing greatness in everything that you see, and also understanding the importance of contributing to it. I'm a firm believer that you must contribute in little ways possible, of course, up to your best degree, but contribute nonetheless. Just the internet is good at making us divided. Doesn't need to be that way. We all share the same feelings, the same emotions. We are the same people that just got conditioned into different beliefs. We are the same. People feel, and I think that it's important to make others feel as well, and especially if you can make them feel good, then to me that's kind of my innate purpose with my life. I just want to make people feel good, and you can make people feel good in different ways. And the ways that I wish to choose to do to make people feel good is through things like this, but also with my close circle, like just being able to motivate and to cultivate the artist in others. Like that's kind of been a big objective of mine. And in so doing that, I'm cultivating myself as well, because as my circle grows, I can grow with them. I have a robust backbone for growing, and that's so important to me. It's not something that so many people I think, invest into, and maybe I'm just a fool for doing that. But I truly believe that if you uplift those around you, it'll only do you good. It's if you understand the synergy of everything, then I think that it becomes obvious, in fact, to recognize that if you hurt somebody, you end up hurting yourself. And if you do something to grow somebody, you'll only end up growing yourself. You gotta be smart about it also. You can't just be a dumbass and be a doormat for anybody to just step over you. I'm obviously speaking about this from a point of careful caution and a bit of wisdom applied to the fucking advice that I'm telling you. I don't want anybody coming up to me and saying that Philip gave me wrong advice, because I'm not trying to peddle you some bullshit things about what things should be. I'm just sharing my take on life, and that should be employed correctly. So I digress. Where was I? But yeah, growth. And I feel like if you uplift the people around you, you can achieve the greatness that you want also, because it's all team effort, man. We gotta recognize that you're not a solo operator in this whole game. You're actually a team player, and you have to make sacrifices for the team, but also know when to carry your fucking team, man. Because sometimes your team can be slacking, and it's you that's gotta put the effort in and like make sure that your team is going through, all of this. I think football taught me, because as of recently I've just been playing. I mean, I've played 2 games in the last 2 months, which I still think is commendable enough for me. I'm not a team sport kind of guy, because I've never been good at it. I've always been like the 1v1, so max duel, pickleball, badminton. These are sports that I was generally good at, but the hype around those sports were not that much. So the infrastructure also was lacking for these sports when I was growing up in Qatar. So it's been 5 years since I picked up football again, and I purchased a cheap pair of football boots, because I was like, hey, you're going to enter the pitch again, and you're putting in this investment so that you can go and perform. I went with that mindset that I could perform, because 5 years ago I was not athletic, but I picked up weightlifting here and there in between all of that, and then calisthenics was a major part of it. All of these things contributed to a fair level of athleticism. So I was like, there's no excuse now. You gotta perform. You have the boots. Just do it. And with that belief, I set into the pitch, and I was scoring goals, which I'd never done before. So that was the power of belief just dawned on me then. And it's just been a rude awakening, It's like, damn, we are just limitations that are caused by ourselves. Like, it's how you think and what you think that determines your reality. And for me, sexuality is a path that I want to explore, but I don't want to explore, because I know that if I get good at it, then I won't be able to sort of turn away from it. And that's just, I don't have space for that in my life right now. But it is an avenue that I contain myself away from, with all of the beliefs that I have around it. Like, girls won't find you attractive, girls don't want to speak to you, anything and everything to convince me that, like, hey, that cute girl over there is not interested in you, and you probably shouldn't approach her. And it was actually Rick and Morty, which again is another great show that showed me, or told me rather, that being nervous is being selfish sometimes. So I was like, damn, am I actually being selfish with my nervousness? Like, what if my conversation would have just made her day? Even if nothing happens out of it, what if I just made that person a little happier, in a little uplifted mood than when that person was prior? I mean, there is valid argument to that. But I don't know, fear holds me back. And I'm cognizant of it and I wish to work on it. But there are other aspects of my life that I need to get in order before I attempt to do this. And it's that's holding me back the most, I think, from attaining success in some form in that front. And making sure that I had an abundance mindset, because not having that is also limiting me, because now I'm setting limitations on myself from achieving the idealistic reality that I want. And again, this is something that I battle through, and with expression, it becomes easier to deal with. I think the best thing that you can do for yourself to find out who you are is just be absolutely vulnerable with yourself. You're not going to hurt yourself. Believe that you won't hurt yourself. And you can open up to yourself about some of the bullshit that you've been storing away for all of that years. Like, look under that carpet, man. Like, what have you been swiping underneath? It's little reminders like these. I mean, that was just a 2-hour episode, that kind of encompassed the last leg of their life together. It's little things like that that remind you the profundity of what we are living through and the importance of the work that you are doing. And if you don't think that your work is important enough, then do work that is important enough, man. I think that this is important enough. Some people might not agree, they might outright disagree, but who cares? I think that this is important. Find out what you think is important so that you can level up yourself and the fucking world. Sorry, bro, didn't mean to blast on you like that. Just sometimes things need to be said sternly for it to register. And I think the biggest takeaway is that this is coming from a place of extreme love, right? I'm not aiming to profit off of this kind of work. I'm just trying to give back all of the tedious effort that I went through to get to the place that I am. Like, I hope that I can reduce that journey for somebody else. That's the whole point of this work, to be honest. And if nobody wants to be where I am or where I wish to be, then like, cool, bro. I'm not doing this for them, right? I'm doing this for y'all who kind of believe in me and believe that I'm capable of doing something that's remarkable. That's all. Seek for greatness, boys. It's not beyond us. It's within sights. And with that, I just want to say that thank you for watching through this really sporadic episode where I just had like emotional waves all throughout. But hope you enjoyed this authentic content. I mean, I was bawling my eyes out and I didn't even bother washing because I was like, why? Yeah, there's nothing left to be said. Peace, guys. Take care.